Sarah here, your Easy Adaptive PE veteran, and today I'm going to talk to you about how do we explain the value of adaptive PE to parents and admins. Before we get into it, as always, like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the things, and I will keep making these videos. Let's get into it. One of the most important parts of our jobs is to help others understand the value of adapted physical education. Parents, admins, and even colleagues may not always know how important and valuable it is for students with disabilities. So today we're going to talk about how to clearly share that value and do it with confidence. First of all, we're going to start with student-centered language. We're not going to talk about my PE program, my adaptive PE program, this is for the students. It's always about the students. And truly, it really is. This isn't even like a ploy or a tactic or a strategy. It just really is all about the students. So when you're talking, make sure that you're using that student-centered language. You want to really explain that adaptive PE isn't a gym, right? It is a place for individualized instruction where students can work on their motor skills, their fitness, their social skills, their cognitive ability. We look at the whole child. It's that kind of confidence that they need for their daily life. Next, you want to connect APE to academics, because this is something that I feel like admins and colleagues really understand. Talking about how research shows how physical activity actually supports attention, decreases behavior, increases learning ability. When we are strengthening those motor skills, we're actually also helping those kiddos to be successful in classes. Examples. So you could talk about how before adaptive PE, a student wasn't able to catch a ball, but now they're able to catch a ball with their siblings at home. So you make that a nice little personal story of, they were not able to do this with their brother or their sister, and now this is something they can do because they've had that practice in adaptive phys ed. And now now you essentially are creating a comfortable, confident, exciting place for those kiddos to go home and say, hey, I can throw a ball with my sibling. It's going to be a great day. The other thing you could say is when we look at a whole student, right, the whole child, and we really want to look at their math ability, right? A lot of parents want kiddos to be really, really great at math. But let's say they're just not. That is not their superpower. They are not great at math, so they're not going to grow up and they're not going to be accountants, for example, right? So okay, or they might not know how to balance a checkbook perfectly, or financial advisor is not in their future. However, if kiddos don't know how to be physically literate, right? They don't know how to move their body. They don't know which physical activities bring them joy. They don't know how to participate with others, how to be a great team player. If they don't have all of these pieces, research shows that they're not going to be involved in these physical activities, which means what? They're more sedentary. They are more unhappy. And then what happens is they get older and older and older. They're sedentary, and their risk of having things like diabetes, having things like heart attacks early, being obese and overweight. So literally those are diseases that could cause you to die earlier than if you had found that joy and that physical activity and had continued to do that the rest of your life. Maybe you don't love your job, but hey, I got pickleball later. It's going to be a great day. I get to see my friends. Right? So you could kind of look at it at that aspect too. It's like, I'm not saying we're saving lives. We're not doctors here, but in an essence, if you're looking at somebody from the beginning of their PE career, and we said to them, we're going to make this joyful and exciting and happy, and they continued on, they're going to continue as they are into adults being active and joyful and enjoying being physically active, and they're going to have healthy lives and healthy children, and that cycle is going to continue. Or we could really push the math. We could really push the math, have them be miserable, good luck being an accountant, and then, where are we? Have somebody who's sedentary and also doesn't enjoy their life outside of their job because they don't have hobbies, because they don't know how to participate with others. So that is my spiel for you guys for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.